I was dating a guy that I loved very much. I had hopes and dreams that someday we would marry and have children together. We were in an on-again, off-again relationship for 3 years. Just before my abortion, we had a breakup. For good. A couple weeks later, I found out that I was pregnant. When I told him that I was pregnant, he said that he wanted me to have an abortion. He said that he didn't feel that I would be a good mother to his child. He challenged me to finally grow up and be a woman and have an abortion. And I didn't really think that he meant it, and I didn't think that he would want me to go through with it. But he did. And to prove that I was strong, I went through with his plan. The night before my abortion, I couldn't sleep. I was lying alone in my bed with my own thoughts, and I knew what I was about to do was very wrong. 2 years earlier, I had gone through a similar situation, but decided to carry my first pregnancy to term. Abortion was never a consideration to me, but now I had a 2-year-old son, and I didn't want others to think less of me. I thought if I had this abortion, I need to come up with a lie, one of the reasons why I couldn't sleep that night. When I woke up the next morning, I called my sister, and I told her that I was having a miscarriage, and I needed to go to the doctor. After I dropped my son off, I went to the abortion clinic. I noticed the picketers. I wanted to make sure none of them knew me, so I drove around the block. None of them looked familiar, so I pulled into the parking lot and went into the building. Once inside, I gave the receptionist a fake name. I felt very, very numb. I filled out paperwork, talked to a counselor, talked to a nurse, and tried not to think about what I was doing. A nurse escorted me into an abortion room. She helped me get ready for the procedure, asked vague questions about the weather and whether or not I was going to school. The abortionist then came in the room and began my procedure. I couldn't seem to keep my eyes off the clear plastic tube. I kept watching to see if I could see my baby pass through it. The nurse was leaning over me and staring into my eyes. After a little while, she asked the doctor, "Is something wrong?" And he said, "It's trying to get away. I've tried 3 times." I was shocked. What he said hit me like a ton of bricks. It is trying to get away from me. I started to pray, and I asked God to put his hand in the way of the vacuum, but it didn't work. I couldn't believe that what I was doing. Seconds later, the abortionist said, "It's done." He put away his tools and left the room. From that moment on, I've regretted my abortion. I just wanted to run, to die. I was angry. After the nurse left the room, I just started to cry. A part of me died in that room that day. I knew what I did was wrong. The it he was referring to was my baby. I had to step into another room where all of us ex-moms were in recovery. We were given cookies and juice. I resented that token. It felt like it was just some kind of reward. As I walked down the steps to leave the place, I just bawled. I remember looking into the sky and asking what God thought of me now. The rest of the day, I laid on the couch full of grief. I would look at my son and just cry. I wanted to go back to that place and pull my baby out of the dumpster. If only I could live that day over again. My decision to have an abortion was final. It was over. And I couldn't and I can never go back. My mom, who saw my grief but thought I miscarried, encouraged me to name my baby and to write my baby a letter. I named my baby Carice, which means grace. And I wrote her a letter. I still have things that make me grieve, like when I go to the dentist and I hear the suction. My abortion happened 2 days before Valentine's Day, so Valentine's Day is a reminder for me. Carice was due September 18th. By now, she would be 22 years old. I wonder what she would look like. I wonder what her laugh would sound like. I wonder if she would have a boyfriend or be married. On this earth, I will never be able to hold her or kiss her goodnight, to tell her that I love her, or that I'm sorry. I can't believe that I took the life of an innocent baby to make myself look better. I really wish I had had the courage to stand up for Carice and to have said no. My grief drew me closer to God. I know that he forgives me for what I did. When I asked for his forgiveness, he gave me a clean slate. He remembers my sins no more. For that, I'm eternally grateful. I know that when I die, God will welcome me into heaven. Standing next to him will be Carice. Only then will I no longer regret my abortion.